Namaste. I'm going to read Volume 3, Book 5, UmaSamhita, Chapter 10, The Mode of Sufferings in the Hell, in the Shiva Puran. Hariyam Tatsat. Sanat Kumara said, "He who follows false scriptures goes to the hell. Dvijivha. He is tortured by the tongue like plowshares extending to 1.5 kilometers. The mouth of the man who has been cruel to his parents and had reproached them is filled with feces and worms, and he is beaten. Men who defile the temple of Shiva, the parks surrounding it, and the wells, tanks, and lakes therein, in various ways, such as playing there, applying oil and unguents over the body, drinking bouts, taking food, indulgence in sexual intercourse, game of dice, etc., are tortured by being crushed in the sugarcane crushing machine and other mechanical contrivances. They are scorched in hellish fire till the final day of dissolution. Sinners who indulge in illicit union with others' wives are forced to embrace red-hot iron images of those women with whom they had illicit relation and struck in various ways. Images of those men are made of red-hot iron, and the erring women are forced to embrace those images. They cry and shriek. Those who listen to the censure of good people are punished thus: ears filled with red-hot pins of iron, copper, tin, lead, or brass, or with boiling milk, or oil, or adamantine liquid again and again. The tortures in the hells are inflicted by filling the airs with these and other parts one after the other. The procedure here too is the same as in the case of airs. Similar tortures are inflicted on all the organs of the body with which the acts of sin had been committed. The hands of those sinners who touch others' wives are filled with red-hot fillings. Their bodies are smeared with corrosive substances such as acid, etc. Tortures are acute and grievous in all the hells. The faces of men who show weary faces with knit eyebrows to their parents are scratched from end to end with sharp pikes. The organs wherewith men defile or harass women are respectively tortured. If they had looked at other women with greedy, gaping eyes, red-hot needles are struck in their eyes. O excellent sage, it is true, there is no doubt, tortures of yama by acids, etc., take place here itself in the hells. If people take food without first offering it to the gods, fire god preceptors, and Brahmins, their tongues and mouths are pierced through and filled with hundreds of red-hot nails of iron. If men, out of greed, pluck and sniff at flowers of the temple parks or wear them on their heads are covered with iron spikes, and their noses are filled with plenty of acid and other things. Red-hot three-pointed iron rods are thrust and pushed through the chest, neck, tongue, tooth joints, palate, lips, nostrils, and all the limb joints of those persons who slander and censure the noble preacher of virtue, devotees of the gods, fire god, and preceptor, as well as the eternal scriptural text. The crevices of the body are filled with corrosive acid. Severe tortures are inflicted all over the body. Those who take others' wealth or kick or even touch a Brahmin with their legs go from hell to hell severely. Those who touch illegally or stamp with the food the materials for Shiva's worship, cow, or a manuscript in which words of wisdom are written are tortured by filling, as mentioned before. In all hells, various tortures of grievous nature are inflicted on hands and feet. If sinners evacuate their bowels or pass urine near Shiva's temple, or in the premises of the Lord's parks, their penis along with the scrotum is pounded into powder by iron threshing rods. Red-hot needles are stuffed into his anus and penis. Acute corrosive acid or molten metals are poured into them. As a result of the previous tortures, their minds and all sense organs are put to great misery. Those who, despite being rich, do not make monetary gifts due to greed, and those who dishonor guests visiting their houses at the proper time, commit sins and fall into dirty hell. Those who take food before offering oblations to gods and crows are tortured by beating 2 nails into their open mouths. They are further harassed through worms, fierce living beings, and by means of crows with iron beaks. Various other sorts of tortures too are in store for them. He who is dark and he who is multicolored, these two are the obstacles to the path of Yama. To these 2 dogs I am offering this oblation. Let them take this oblation. Let the pious crows in the direction of Varuna west, and of Vayu northwest, of Yama south, and of Neriti southwest accept this oblation of mine. Those who offer this bali with Shiva's mantras, or after worshipping Shiva with devotion and performing Homa duly, do not face Yama. They go straight to heaven. Hence this oblation shall be offered daily. A square mystic diagram is made, and sweet scents are offered. The oblation to Dhanvantari is made in the Isana corner, northeast, to that to Indra in the east, that to Yama in the south, that to Shiva with Daksha and Uma in the west, that to the Pitris in the south, that to Aryaman in the east, and to Dhatir and Vidhatir at the entrance. The offerings to dogs and lords of dogs and to the crows are made on the ground. A householder is depended upon by the gods, Pitris, ghosts, all sorts of living beings, Guyakas, birds, worms, and insects. The 4 nipples of the cow are respectively Swahakara, Svadhakara, Vasatakara, and Hantakara. The Swahakara nipple is sucked by gods, the Svadhakara by the mains, the Vasatakara by the other gods, as well as lords of the Bhutas, and the Hantakara nipple is drunk by human being. He who serves the cow thus with faith and reverence deserves to maintain the sacrificial fires. He who forsakes it is drowned in the hell Tamisra. Hence, after offering bali to these at the door, the householder shall meditate for a short while. One shall feed the hungry guests staying in the same village with auspicious food, in accordance with his ability, and with the same dishes as he partakes of himself. If a guest turns back from a house disappointed, he takes away all the merits of the householder and leaves his own sins behind. A man eating delicious food by himself stays in the hell for a long time, fettered in the body and pierced in the tongue with force. Bits of his own flesh, of the size of a small gingerly seed, are cut off from his body and are given to him for eating. Blood is similarly taken and given for drinking. He is then beaten with whips. Thus he is tormented with hunger and thirst. These are similar things constitute the terrible tortures inflicted on sinners. What comes off in the end may be listed to be brief. There may be a person who has done more sin than good, or a person who has done more good than evil. Now listen to the result of their actions. The fruit of good actions is immaterial because it is the sin that is prominent. His pleasure is insignificant since he has to undergo manifold suffering due to his bad deeds. He is put to misery and distress. As scrumptious food, it is not pleasing to a person if that is not repeated every day, so his small joys are of no avail in the face of various sufferings. he has to undergo. On the other hand, a man of more good actions is not distressed by a few sufferings due to small sins, just as a rich householder is not distressed by hunger when he fasts for a day. There are great sins in the world which shatter a man into hundreds of pieces, like a mountain struck down by thunderbolt. Footnotes. 332. According to the locks of hair, is the common characteristic of the people of Dakshinapata across the Narmada River. This practice never prevailed among North Indian people. 233. The text mentions the two dogs and crows to whom the offerings shall be made in favor of the departed spirit. It mentions the cow that takes the spirits across Vaitarani. 234. The gifts offered to the principal gods means subsidiary gods and human beings with the utterance of words Swaha, Swadha, Vhapata. I think that's it. Sorry. Sorry, this is Vashta and Hanta are linked to the milk drops from the four teats of the cow. And here in today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Oh, there's, yeah. 215. Oh, sorry, there's one more. 235. The text of the second half of the verse is defective. We have adopted the reading. Abha Vad Prato Praton. This footnotes has a lot of misprints. Abha Vada Gratun Nasya. For Abhavadha Gratun Yanasya, to suit the context. And here in today's reading, the Shiva Puran. Hari Om Tat Sat.